The NFL and the city of St. Louis have agreed to a $790 million settlement over the lawsuit filed in 2017 after the Rams relocated to Los Angeles. The settlement does not include a promise of the NFL granting St. Louis an expansion franchise as speculated, and it's reported that the idea was never really seriously discussed. So that kind of kiboshes that whole part of the report and that whole thing. So we got that down. Some other notes about this. The Rams relocated to Los Angeles for a second time in the franchise history in 2016 when Stan Kroenke moved the team from St. Louis. And the lawsuit argued that the league broke its own relocation guidelines, which, if you read up about it, they did, that were adopted in 1984 and misled the public on its plans to leave the city and cost the city millions in revenue. They did break their promise. They did break their contract. They did break their lease. Basically, it was a real scumbag thing to move in the manner, especially the manner that they did. $790 million is roughly $800 million is the settlement amount. It was speculated that the settlement amount could possibly be in the billions. It was speculated that the legal fees could cost everyone in, the hundreds of millions by the time this was over, because it was going to take years, like literally years. And this is a big time lawsuit. So probably smart of the NFL to settle. Again, outside of the money, we don't really know the specific terms of the settlement. We don't know whether it's, $790 million and possibly, more or legal fees on top of that, or other monetary compensation that may offset some of the losses that the city has accrued over the move. We don't know whether there might be, further promises made down the line, or maybe a little bit of a handshake agreement over considering St. Louis down the line. But again, those reports were unsubstantiated. So that's speculation at this point. Is this settlement fair? No. No, it's not. What would have been fair would be a settlement of billions upon billions of dollars that would have made NFL teams think twice before just picking up and moving cities. What would have been fair is teaching teams a lesson about breaking contracts. What would have been fair would be teaching teams lessons and franchises lessons about leaving cities high and dry in the manner that they do, and really abusing the fan base's trust and their fandom. Because this won't stop another team from moving again. Stan Kroenke, granted, he's one of the richest owners in the NFL. He's worth damn near $9 billion, if I'm not mistaken. $790 million to him in the NFL. Drop in the bucket. It's big-time money. Don't get me wrong. It's big-time money, but comparatively to what they could have been forced to pay, drop in the bucket. If teams and franchises know that they can just throw money at a situation and make it go away, it doesn't incentivize them to do what's best for the city that they represent, the community that loves their team, the community that shows up for their team even though they're bad or good or what have you. All it proves is there's a price for doing business. There's a price for doing business, and most teams and the NFL are willing to pay that price. Because it's not about the communities. Like, I want to make this clear. It's not about the communities. It's not about the cities. It's not about the people who show up for games. Who show up for games when it's raining. Who show up for games when it's snowing. Who pay the exorbitant amount of money for jerseys. Jerseys that are made, honestly, pretty cheap, but they charge $120 for on NFLshop.com. For supporting teams. For supporting all the different ventures that they have. The NFL doesn't care about any of that. The franchises, for the most part, don't care about any of that because they are owned and operated by almost every time single entities in owners. They are owned and operated and work for an entity in the NFL that doesn't give a shit about the communities. They will pay lip service to you, but they will never, and I mean never, put what's best for the fans and the communities that have supported these teams. They will never put that above their bottom line. That is the God honest truth. And if St. Louis, the Rams move to LA wasn't the right example for you, look at exactly what happened to Oakland. The Oakland Raiders, that was a fixture in that city. Those fans, even when their team was leaving, sold out the Coliseum or damn near sold out the Coliseum because their team was leaving. Because they didn't want them to leave. It's freaking sad, man. It'd be one thing if some of these teams' fans weren't showing out. It'd be one thing if they weren't profitable. It'd be one thing if no one's buying jerseys and the city literally doesn't care. But in this case of St. Louis, the city cared. They won a Super Bowl. They won a Super Bowl in St. Louis, not in Los Angeles. Oakland. The Raiders are Oakland. Even when they were in LA, even when they moved to LA for like 10 years, they were still the Oakland Raiders. That was their home base. That was where their fans were. The Chargers. They left a city that whatever you want to say about those fans, man. San Diego loved the Chargers. They did. They hated Dean Spanos for good reason. But what'd they do? They up and left. They left the one place where they had fans, and now they're in LA, sharing a stadium with a more popular team who actually has fans, and they can't get anyone outside. They can't get anyone who supports their team to come to the games. They have divisional games with the Raiders. They have divisional games with the Broncos. They have divisional games with the Chiefs, and it's an away game for them, for the Chargers. It's an away game for them because their stadium is chock full of fans from the other team. But the community matters. No, it doesn't. Not for the NFL. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.